All right, you guys, welcome to class. My name is Teacher Chad. This hour we're going to be taking a look at some confusing words. I've got, I think, about 8 pages, 10 pages, something like that, of different sets of confusing words. And so we'll go through some brief examples and whatnot, and take a look at how the words are used. Okay. But let's see who we have in class so far. Hi there, Heidi. Welcome. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
All right, very good. So it may just be you and I. If we have some others in here. Oh, here we go. Oksana. Hi there, Oksana. Welcome.
How are you again?
Hi there. Welcome back.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, ladies. So I have. Okay, I'm going to be sharing my screen here with you guys, so you can check it out. Hi there, Claudio. How you doing?
Hi, Chad. I'm doing great. And you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. All right, here we go. Okay, you guys. So awesome. All right. So we're going to be talking about common and confusing words. Okay. Our first set. Okay. Our first set of words are words that end in ed or ing. Okay. One of the most common words that I hear people mess up on or make mistakes on is bored and boring. Okay, and I want to go through and we'll talk a little bit about these. And we have some others that we'll go through. If we don't finish them all tonight, then we'll take a look at the rest of them in another classroom. Okay, but I want to take a look at them one by one and see what kind of questions you have. Okay, now the thing is, with these words here, with adjectives that end with an ed or an ing, okay, it all depends on the ending. Okay, the ending, okay, means something different. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, more people joined in. All right, let's see who else we have. Duong, how you doing?
Hey, fine.
Hello, teacher.
Hi
Sorry for
there.
the absent for the last class. I have some trouble for my computer.
Oh, no
Now I'm
worries.
back.
No worries.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. All right. We also have Francisco. How you doing, Francisco?
Nothing, nothing important. I'm trying to get
Okay.
a bigger level in English.
Very good. Very good. And where are you from, Francisco?
I'm from Ecuador, but I'm living in United States.
Okay. What part of the U.S. are you in?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. How much time do you have there?
About seven months ago. Can't remember exactly.
Okay. About 7 months. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. Nice to have you here. Nice to meet you. How about Juan? Hi there, Juan. How you doing?
Hi, buenas.
Great. And Juan, where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
From Colombia. Okay.
This is my first time in web class and not in Berlin.
Okay, in Verbling. This is your first class ever with Verbling.
Yes.
All right. Well, what a pleasure it is to have you here. It's good to meet you. And this is an interesting picture that you have. There's a lot of different things on there. Did you create that yourself, or did you find that online someplace?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get rolling here, you guys. So this is our first set of confusing words. Okay. I hope you have a notepad and paper with you, because this book I'm not giving out. It's 81 pages and it has a lot of different things in it. Okay. So you'll need to be taking notes. So we'll take a look at bored, boring, interesting, interested. Okay. We also have lend, loan, borrow. most of. Anyway, we're just going to go down through these, and we'll get through as many as we can. If we don't finish them all tonight, we'll come back to them another day. Okay? All right. So first up, bored, boring. So or ed ending or an ing ending. And Oksana, let me have you read this this paragraph here, please.
These participle adjectives create problems for most students of English. The easiest way to remember them is that the ed form represents the feeling one has, and the ing form represents what has caused the feeling.
All right, very good. Okay, so we don't say I'm so boring. Okay. Okay, we do not say that if you feel bored. Okay, you can say the movie was boring. Okay, because the movie caused the feeling of being bored.
Okay.
All right. So it caused the feeling. If you say that I'm so boring, that means that you cause other people to feel bored. Okay, so I'm so boring means you cause others to feel bored. Okay, now if you're in my class right now and you're going, man, Teacher Chad is horrible, I'm so bored. Okay, if you feel bored, okay, that's because my class is horrible. Right, and you feel bored, okay? The feeling you have because
Teacher is so bored. Class, it's horrible.
all right, so
That's not true.
all right, it's the same thing with interested and interesting, excited and exciting. Okay? ed ending, the feeling that you have, okay? ing, okay? The feeling that, well, the thing is causing that feeling to happen, okay? So let's take a look at some other examples here. Claudio, let me have you read these, please.
Okay. I'm sorry, I lost. I'm sorry, Chen. Oh, don't say I'm so exciting. Do say the lottery is so exciting. If I win, I will be so excited.
Good. Okay. Now, what's the lottery doing? What does this mean right here, Claudio?
This lottery will be exciting. Probably
Okay.
I
The
can win.
Yeah, the lottery is making you feel excited. That's what this means. The lottery is so exciting. Okay?
Yeah.
It is
Right.
making you feel. Okay? So if I win, I will be so excited. You will feel. Okay? So instead of I will be so excited, what it means is that you will feel excited.
Okay. Got it.
Okay? Is it starting to get a little clearer, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's take a look at interesting. Duong, let me have you take a look here at these, please.
Okay. Don't say I am so interesting. Do say the history of Asia is very interesting. I'm very interested in it.
Cheers.
Okay, all right. So what does this mean here, Duong?
I think it's this make me this series make me very exciting and very let me see some
Okay, so
yeah.
nice and simple. So the history makes you feel interested. Okay, so that line, the history of Asia is very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So by saying that, okay, it's very interesting. It is very interesting. I am very interested in it. Okay, that's the
Yeah.
feeling that you get. Okay, but that
Okay.
history makes you feel interested in it. Okay, the
Okay.
history makes you feel interested.
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay, and this
Yeah.
here is the feeling. Okay, feeling you get. Right?
Okay.
Okay, let's take a look at some of these lines here, Francisco. Let's have you read. Let's have you read these next two, please.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you may be very interesting, but you should leave that up to people that know you, who are interested in you. Many teachers are boring and their students are bored. Sometimes a teacher is bored by his or her student.
Okay, very good. Okay. And the last one here, this is for Juan.
Yes, yes. You may be an exciting person, but as with interesting, we may leave that to other people to decide.
Okay, very good. So with these here, okay, here's the, leave that up for other people, okay, to decide. Okay, leave that to other people to decide. So if you do say that, it's sort of like you are being stuck up. Okay, if you say, I'm so interesting, okay, that's a very proud thing to say. Okay, it's a very egocentrical thing to say. All right,
Yes.
it's not very good if you say, ha, I'm so interesting, I'm so exciting. Okay, leave it up to other people. Okay, it's not proper to say those things. It's not proper. Right?
Okay.
Sorry if I said I'm so boring. This okay?
No.
I'm
Okay.
bored.
Unless when you say that, if you say I'm so boring, that means that you are making me feel bored.
Mhm.
Okay? Unless you feel that you are boring. Okay? If you've practiced a speech and you went and you gave the speech, you go, wow, I was so boring. Everybody in there was yawning. They were, oh man, I'm so tired, right? And they didn't want to listen to you. Okay? You could say I was so boring in the speech because you were making other people feel bored. Okay? But typically, if it's the feeling you have,
Yeah.
okay, if it's the feeling you have, it's it's ed, the ed ending.
No, maybe some people very critical, and said about himself, I am so boring today, and is it possible to?
Bored.
You can do that. You can say that. All right, it is possible to say that, but you have to be careful with how you're meaning it. Okay, because if you just say, man, I'm so boring, that does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. You have to explain why you think you are so boring. But I can say I'm so bored and leave it right there. I don't have to say any more, okay, because it's the feeling I have. Okay, but if you say I'm so boring, you have to explain why you think that. Okay, I'm so boring because the people here in class are yawning and they're leaving and this, that, or the other. Okay, but you rarely say that. You rarely do it. Okay, just remember, if it's the feeling you have to use the ed ending. Okay. Any questions about this, you guys?
And not very polite to say I am very interesting, I am very excited. Not very polite to say.
Yeah, it's not very polite because it's like it's this here. Okay, it's like, look at me, I'm so interesting. Everybody wants to talk to me. Everybody, come talk to me, guys. Come
I'm
talk
the
to me.
best.
I'm the
I'm the
best.
best person of the world.
Yeah,
Exactly.
maybe I want to present myself and so and say like
Okay.
this.
You could say you can present yourself like that. You could say so if you're introducing yourself, you say, well, I think I would. If you do say that, I would always start it off with I think. Okay. Now I can say that. For example, for myself, if I were explaining me, I would say, well, I think I'm an interesting person. I've lived in 6 different countries. I played in a rock and roll band that toured throughout the United States. Okay, I played on most of the major concert venues on the West Coast. Right, I've bought and sold real estate throughout the United States. I've also rubbed shoulders with millionaires. Okay, for years on end. Okay, I've lost everything that I've had twice in my life, and then gained it back. Okay, I have stories for just about everything. I've started businesses. I've failed at businesses. I've had successful businesses, right? And I currently live in Costa Rica, right? So I could say that I think I'm an interesting person. Okay, that's not a very stuck-up thing to say. Okay, but because I'm saying I think. Okay, if you say I am, that's like for a fact, and that comes off being a little rude or prideful. Okay, so if you say I think I'm exciting, okay, or I think I'm an interesting person, okay, explain a little bit about it. Okay, you can say that. It doesn't come off as bad, but you have to say I think. If you say I am, that means that it's written in stone. There's no other way around it. Okay, that's the way it is. Okay, does that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yes.
Okay, yeah, because this is it's something that I hear a lot of students err on. Okay, so they usually say I'm so boring, and it should be I'm so bored. Okay. All right, very good. Any last questions before we move on to our next one? Nope. Okay, let's come down here. Oops. All right, next one here. This is, let's see, lend, loan, borrow. Okay, this is another one that I hear people mess up on. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's go to Juan. Let's have you read, because you only read a couple lines on this last one. Let's have you read from this trio down to, oh, it's not going to let me do that? All right. Okay, down to here. Okay, so it says this trio down to it to themselves. Please.
Okay. These three of words are regularly confused by students and, as a result, frequently used incorrectly. Law can be a noun as the name of a transaction where someone borrows something from someone who lends it to them.
Okay. All right. So loan can be a noun. So loan can be used as a noun. It also can be used as a verb. Okay. Now, when it's used as a noun, it's a transaction where someone borrows something from someone who lends it to them. Okay. So it's like a mortgage loan or a car loan. Okay. You borrow money from the bank. The bank was the one that lent it to you. Okay. So if I were to think, if I were to write this out, okay, if I were to say car loan. Okay. Car loan. Okay. You borrowed money from the bank. Okay. On the other hand, the bank, okay, lent you the money. Okay, the bank lent you the money.
Okay.
All right. So
why
that's
car loan? Why car loan? Car.
it can be any type of loan. It can be a car loan. It can be a home loan. It could be a loan for furniture. Okay, it doesn't matter what it is. Okay, so I can let's put anything here. So let's say home, furniture,
Heavy words.
stereo system. Okay,
Mobile,
what's that?
gold, mobile, gold. We
Yeah.
have
Did you say goat?
gold, gold.
Okay, I'm hearing the
Gold.
word goat, like meh.
No, no, gold, gold.
Gold.
How say no, gold.
Oh, gold. Okay, yeah,
Diamond, gold.
gotcha. Okay, so oh yeah, if you were to buy a diamond ring or something like that, okay, so yeah, jewelry, something like that. Okay, yeah, and that would be gold. Okay, make sure to add that L in there. I thought you were saying goat. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. No problem. Okay. Now, yeah. So that's where you borrow money from the bank, and the bank lent you the money. So there's two ways of explaining what a loan would be. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. Okay. The next part. Let's go to Oksana. Oksana, let me have you read the highlighted portion, please.
It can also be a verb with a meaning similar to that of lend. Lend and borrow are both verbs. If I lend something to you, money, I give it to you temporarily, expecting that you will return it.
Okay, very good. Claudio, please read this next paragraph.
Oh, okay. Chad. If I borrow something from you, I take it from you temporarily, knowing that you expect me to return it to you. I get or received something from you.
Okay, all right. So, lend and borrow. Okay, these are tricky. Okay, this is what I hear most of the time. Okay, Ramona, will you borrow me 20 pesos? Okay, in this situation, okay, we do not say borrow me. Okay, the problem is that in most of your schools, okay, or most of your English classes, this is the only word that is taught to you. Okay, they teach you borrow. They do not teach you lend. Okay, when in fact, if you were to use it the correct way, it would be to lend. Lend someone money, not borrow. Okay, borrow me money. Okay, all right. Now, if I were to ask a question, okay, let's take a look at what we should say here. Okay, I want to take a look at these because it just has it written out nicely. Okay, before we get too deep into it. Okay, Duong, let me have you read what we should say. So from Ramona down to 20 pesos, please.
Okay, don't say, Ramona, will you borrow me 20 pesos? Do say, Ramona, will you lend or loan me 20 pesos so I can buy lunch today? She might say, of course, I will be glad to lend or loan you 20 peso.
Okay, 20 pesos. Okay.
20 peso. Okay.
All right. So, the way that we typically ask for it, okay, you guys, whenever you want to say borrow, stop. Okay, this is the biggest advice that I can offer you guys. Whenever you want to say borrow, stop and do not say it. Okay, because you are more than likely saying it wrong. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Use lend. Okay. Use lend. That's the word. You want to replace lend with borrow. Okay. That's the easiest way to overcome this. All right. Because most of you guys want to say borrow me. Could you borrow me the keys to your car? No. Will you lend me? Will you lend me? Okay. You want to say lend. Okay, lend, lend, lend. Okay, you can also say
So,
loan, and it's the same.
yeah. Sorry, teacher. So, I must when I say something, I must you I lend someone something, right?
Yeah,
And she borrow me a book, right?
no, she did
No.
not borrow you a book. No, you do not use a pronoun after borrow.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
she lent me a book.
So it is the same, right?
It's going to
Yeah.
be, yeah,
Yeah.
me, you, them, us. After
Yeah.
that word, it is lend.
Okay.
Okay, and see
Yeah.
that's the issue. Everyone wants to use borrow. Stop. Okay, it is not borrow. It is lend. Okay,
Yeah.
how then do we use the word borrow? Okay, how then do we use the word borrow? Okay, so let's take a look here. Down here, let's go to Francisco.
Okay.
Okay, so Francisco, let me have you read this part here, please.
What's the correct pronunciation of this name? Suhun?
Su Hyun, something like that. Yeah.
How?
Yeah, it's not an American name, so it's however you'd like to pronounce it.
Okay. Don't say Suhao. May I lend 5,000 won from you? Don't say Suhao. May I borrow 5,000 won from you so I can buy lunch today? She might say, "Of course, I will be glad to lend or loan you 5,000 won."
Okay, very good. All right. So in our question, may I borrow? Okay, then we are going to ask for the money or the object. Okay, then we ask for the object. May I? Object. Okay, then we say from you.
Subject.
Okay, so what most of you want to do is use the pronoun. Okay, so may, subject, borrow, object. Okay, from you. All right, that's how you're going to use borrow. Okay, may I borrow? May I borrow your laptop? Okay, or may I borrow the laptop from you? Your laptop from you. You can say, you can use a possessive pronoun. Whoops. You can use a possessive pronoun with the noun there. Okay. Okay, but it's always going to be an object that you're looking to borrow. Okay, you will not say borrow me or borrow them. Okay, if you are going to use a pronoun, it's going to be possessive pronoun of an object. Okay, may I borrow your car to go pick up my mother from the airport? Okay, borrow your car. May I borrow $5 to buy a pizza for everyone? Okay.
So,
All right,
so sorry,
I don't
teacher.
think so.
We will use some preposition after borrow, right? Maybe I borrow your book from to read for my yeah, right?
yeah, you could say oh hey Duong, I forgot to tell you, I
Yeah.
borrowed your book yesterday to
Uh-huh.
study. Is that okay?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
To study. Is that okay? Hey, I borrowed your book yesterday to study. All right, because up here, remember, when we're talking about borrowed, okay, we're talking about taking it from you temporarily.
Okay.
All right, lending is to give. Lending is to give. Borrow is to take.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, okay. Any questions up till right now? Nope. Okay, let's take a look at some other examples, and I want to create some of our own sentences here. Okay, so Francisco read last. Let's go to Juan. Juan, let me have you read that one,
Yes.
and this one here. So these other do says, please.
Yeah. You say, can I borrow your cell phone for a moment? I need to get home. You say, would you lend or loan your cell phone to me for a moment? I need to get home.
Good, good. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the construction right here. Okay. With borrow, can I take, okay? Can I take your cell phone? Okay, when you think of borrow, think of take.
Oh,
Okay, if that helps you out, can I take your cell phone from you for a moment? Okay, can I take your cell phone from you for a moment? All right, if that helps you with borrow, think of take. All right, can I grab it from you? Right? All right, here, would you lend? Okay, would you give? Give me your cell phone.
Will you give me your cell phone?
Okay, so if that helps you with lend, think of give. Okay. Now.
Sorry. What more polite say? Can I borrow your cell telephone, or would you lend me? What's more polite? Wait.
The more it would be would, but you can also say could I borrow, and that's polite. Okay, you can change out can for could, and it would be just as polite. Okay, way is fine. Okay, it just has to do with that first word. Could I borrow your cell phone for a moment? Okay, remember that's take from them. Okay, notice it would be can I. Okay, you're talking about yourself. Okay, can I take? Here, when you're talking about lend, can you give? You. Okay, would you? All right, so it's a complicated one to move through. So I want to see if we can come up with some sentences here. All right, let's read this last little bit. Oksana, let me have you read our note, please. This much here, please.
Note that I borrow something from you, but you lend something to me. Or I may lend something to you, but you borrow something from me. Remember, lend to, borrow from. Using loan as a noun. Do say, Jackie's loan, not lend, was for 50 francs.
Very good. All right. So this note sort of reiterates what we were talking about. Okay. Lend to, borrow from. Okay. Give to, take from. All right. So hopefully those help you out. Okay. Give to, take from. Right. So let's create some sentences with lend and borrow. All right. And we're going to. You can either form a question. You can either form a question or you can make a statement. Okay, Claudio, let's start off with you. Okay, I want you to use the word lend. Okay, I want you to use lend in a sentence. Where am I writing? Here it is. Okay, so we're going to use lend first. Okay, and that's sentence number 1. Then I want you to use borrow in a sentence. Okay.
Okay. I have to create the sentence.
Yep. You have to create it. You can either use you can do a question or a sentence. Either way is fine.
Okay. I asked to a friend to lend me some money to travel to United States last weekend.
Okay, so you said I rushed to a friend.
I asked
Okay, I asked a friend. Okay,
to
to lend.
lend.
I asked instead of asked to a friend. Okay, I asked a friend to lend me some money. Okay, and then the rest of what you said. That was good. I asked a friend to lend me some money. Awesome. Okay, how could you use borrow?
and and I I borrowed that money because I was without any dime.
Okay, I borrowed that money because I didn't have a dime.
I didn't have a dime because
Okay, I didn't have a dime. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, good. Let's go to Duong. Duong, two sentences. One with lend and the other with borrow.
Oh my God.
Okay. Uh, could I lend your CD for a moment? And
Okay.
yeah,
Let's take a look at here. Let's take a look here. Could I lend your
your
CD
CD.
for a
Uh,
moment? Okay, what are you
yeah.
wanting to say? Take or give?
Okay. It give. So
Okay, so if you are giving, okay,
yeah,
it wouldn't be could I.
yeah.
Okay, so you could say I will lend you.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay, because could would be a question to see if you could borrow something.
yeah,
All right, so let's change this up here, and we're going to say I will
yeah.
lend you. Okay, a CD for a moment.
Okay.
Okay, because now you're giving it to that person. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, now let's try one with borrow.
Okay. I borrowed that book.
Okay, I borrowed
Be-
that book
because
from who?
I'm so I from you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoops. I borrowed that book from you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that means take, right? I
Yeah.
took that book from you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Good. You see the difference between the two?
Yeah.
All right. Good. Let's go to Francisco.
Okay. Uh, could you lend me your computer for a few minutes, please? I need to talk with my mom by Skype.
All right. So for a few minutes, whoops, minutes, please. Okay. I need by Skype. It would be on
Okay.
Skype. Okay. That's good. Could you lend me? Could you lend me? Can you give me your computer? Right. Okay. Very good. All right. And one for borrow. Whoops. What would that sound like?
Uh, I borrowed my debit card to my sister because she needs it to to buy a present to my dad on Father's Day.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this. This here. Now, are you saying give or take?
Sorry, you say that again, please?
In this sentence, are you saying give or take? I borrowed my
You're
debit
using
card to my
borrow
sister. So what you said was I borrowed my debit card to my sister.
from my sister, right?
Okay. Now, would it be
From my
I
sister.
borrowed my debit card from my sister?
From.
I borrowed the debit card from my sister.
There you go. We want to say the debit card from my sister. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the first way that you said it, that's how I hear most Spanish speakers say it. Okay. I borrowed my debit card to my sister. That's how most Spanish speakers say it. Okay, so you want to change the way that you think of the word borrowed. Okay, think of it as take.
Okay.
Okay, so I borrowed the debit card from my sister. All right, and then with the rest of what you said, that is great. Okay. All right, very good. Nice job, Francisco. Juan.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let's try one with lend and one with borrow, please.
Will lend. Could you lend me some money for get a suit?
Okay, could you lend Caroni, lend me some money.
For
Okay,
get a suit.
instead of for get a suit, it would be
A suit.
to get. To get.
To get suit. To get
To
suit.
get
A suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could you lend me some money to get a suit? What are we saying here? Are we saying give or take?
Give.
Yeah, give. Can you give me some money?
Could
Right?
you give
Okay.
me some money? Yes.
Awesome, awesome. All right, and one for borrow.
I borrowed that money because I think he didn't need that so much.
Okay, I borrowed that money
Because I think, I did think, I don't know.
Okay, it would be in past tense, so you would have to say I thought.
I thought.
Okay.
I thought he needs that so much.
Okay, he need what so much?
Okay.
Okay, what did he need so much? Because you're saying that, but what does that refer to?
Money.
Okay, so I borrowed that money because I thought he
I don't know.
need
That's
that
true.
so much.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. So much, or that money so much. I don't know.
Okay, so what are you saying? Are you saying you took the money from him because he needed the suit so much?
Maybe yes.
Okay,
The suit.
To take.
okay.
Borrow
So
that money.
borrowed here.
The suit
what
so
are we
much.
Okay, so this would be a little confusing because in this moment you're saying that you took money from him because he needed a suit.
Yes.
Okay, that
Okay.
does not make sense. So,
Okay.
all right, so we need to change the reason why you took the money.
Okay. I borrowed the money because I thought he need
Okay,
that
because
money. It's obviously that money so much. No.
okay, so let's switch here. Okay, so what you're saying here, usted me está diciendo que él le prestó el dinero porque necesitaba un traje, ¿ok?
Yes.
Pero eso no tiene sentido porque le dio el dinero a usted,
Yeah.
¿ok? ¿Para qué? ¿Para comprar un traje para él? No. Entonces, lo que queremos decir aquí es que le dio el dinero a usted, pero ¿para qué? Para algo que usted necesitaba, no para él. Okay, so that's what we're saying. I took the money. I borrowed the money because. Okay, now it's a reason for you. It's a reason for you.
Okay. Because I need to get one laptop.
Okay, I needed to get a laptop.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Get a laptop.
So I needed to get a laptop. Now, does that make sense? What the meanings are? This first one was perfect. Could you lend me some money to get a suit? That's great. Okay. I borrowed that money because I needed a laptop. Okay. That means I took the money.
Okay. Thank you.
But it's for you, right? Okay. Good. All right. So, Oksana, you are the last one.
Okay. Why people when listen heard words borrow and lend think only about money? I want to ask.
Because most of the time that's what you borrow. Yeah.
Okay. First with lend, yeah.
Okay, sure.
I lent my tennis racket to daughter when she broke her racket.
Okay, so okay,
I lent
I lent my tennis racket
my tennis racket
to my daughter.
to my daughter when she broke how to say when she
Okay, when she broke
broke
hers.
it
So instead
when
of
she
instead of saying when, it would be after. After she broke hers.
after she broke hers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I lent my tennis racket to my daughter after she broke hers.
And same with borrow. I borrow mm, tennis racket when my broken.
Okay, so I borrowed. Okay, it would be different. Okay, you would have to say
Yes,
I borrowed.
I give, I take,
I borrowed her tennis racket.
Yeah, her
Okay,
tennis racket.
after
Then after my broken,
mine broke.
mine broke. After my mine broke.
After whoops, you're right. After mine broke. Okay, so I borrowed her tennis racket after mine broke.
Yeah, first example, that means I give. Second example, I take.
That's right. Very good. Okay. All right. Does this make sense, you guys?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Any questions between borrow and lend?
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
It'll
no.
take some practice. It'll take some practice. The biggest thing
Yeah.
here, just remember, borrow is take. Okay. Lend
Yeah.
is give.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we've got about 10 minutes left. Let's take a look at our next one here. Okay. So we have most and most of, right? All righty. Let's go to, I think Claudio is next. Claudio, let me have you read this paragraph, please.
Okay, Chen. Most of. Students often confuse the use of most and most of. Most should be used if the word following it is a noun or an adjective. Most of should be used if the word following it is a pronoun, a proper noun used as an possessive or an article.
Okay. All right, and this is one that I hear quite often as well. Okay, let's go to Francisco. Francisco, let me have you read the first two here: the don't say and the do say, please.
Okay. Don't say most of Americans eat turkey on Thanksgiving Day. You say most Americans eat turkey on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, very good. Okay, why? What is Americans?
Most Americans?
Americans is
American,
what?
Native Americans from United
Okay.
States. People
Yep.
from United States.
It's
No.
a noun.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a noun. That's why. Okay, but I do hear this quite often. Most of Americans. Okay, we do not say that. Most Americans, if this is a noun or an adjective. Okay. All right. Let's take a look here at most of and how we would use that. And we're going to compare these two. Okay. Juan, let me have you read these two down here below, please.
Don't say most Mr. Kim's students hate to study English. Do say most of Mr. Kim's students hate to study English.
Okay. Very good. All right. So what do we have here? Mr. Kim's students.
Mr. Kim's students. That's
Okay.
a noun.
Okay. we do have a proper noun. Okay.
Him.
Okay. Mr. Kim's students.
I don't know.
We're also looking at. Okay, so we're looking at a proper noun.
Yeah,
Oops, I didn't want to do that. Proper noun used as a possessive. Sorry. My program's freaking out a little bit here. Here we go. Okay, so we have a proper noun used as a possessive. Okay? Most of Mr. Kim's students. Mr. Kim's possessive. Most of the students of Mr. Kim.
Yes.
All right? Most of Mr. Kim's students.
The students of Mr. Kim's.
Exactly. That's what this S means. Okay, it's possessive.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, let's see here. Oh, that's all they're giving me, huh? All right. Okay. So let's create some sentences. Okay. So we've got about 5 minutes left.
Oh my God.
Okay. 5 minutes left. Not too much time to do this, but we are going to try. All right. So, okay, Oksana, let's have you create. I want you to create a sentence with most. Okay. So after most, you're going to put either a noun or an adjective.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Most Russians, most Russians, how say, good heart people,
are good-hearted
good-hearted
people.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And most of Russian students,
Okay, so you'd have to have the most of
Russian students.
Russian students.
Most. Okay, most of the Russian students likes to go America.
Okay, like to what?
Like to go America.
Like to go to
America for summer, for work for summer. How say? Where students work summer.
Most of the Russian students like to go to America, and we'll just write to work for the summer, and that would be okay.
Yeah.
To work for the summer. Okay, good. All right, so here, most Russians. Okay, that's going to be a noun. Okay, most of the Russian students. Okay. Okay, most of the Russian students, we're now using that as, okay, we have an article here, most of the, right? Okay, like to go to America to work for the summer. Okay, good. Let's go to Claudio. Okay, give me a sentence with most and another one with most of the.
Okay, Chen. Most of my friends have learned English by Verbling.
Okay, have learned. Instead of by Verbling, we're going to say through.
Through. Okay. Could I use from? Not.
You could say most of my friends learned English from Verbling. You could say from the teachers at Verbling.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it'd be best to say through. Okay, all right, and one with most only.
Okay, most. Most engineers rather to use HP Calc.
Okay, most engineers, instead of rather to use, we would say would rather use.
would rather use.
Okay, and then you said HP calc like this.
Yes.
Okay,
oh,
cool.
calc, HP calc. Yes.
Oh, like a
calc.
calculator. A calculator.
Calculator. Yes.
That's what you're saying? Okay, calculator. Gotcha. Use, and then so here, then we would need to have an article. Would rather use an HP calculator. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Sorry, just
Yes.
how most of my friend or most of my friends.
Whoops. Yes, you're right. Most of
No,
my.
no, I just want to ask. No problem. Just to say
No.
friend.
Yeah, you'd say most of my friends. You're right. It was just a typo on my part.
Yeah,
I'm a terrible typist.
no
I'm
problem.
horrible at it. So yes, I miss letters all the time. Okay, so most of my friends. You're absolutely right. Okay. Okay, very good. Let's go to Francisco. Okay, give me one with most and one with most of, please.
Francisco.
Francisco, 1 minute
Okay. Let's go to
only
Juan.
lesson.
Juan, let
Yes,
me
yes.
ask you, come up with one here.
Come back.
Go ahead, Juan.
Yeah. The most teachers have so many friends.
Okay, most teachers have
Have
many friends. Most teachers have many friends.
so many?
Okay.
No.
No, you would not say so many.
Okay.
Okay.
Never have many friends. Okay.
Huh?
And the most of Spanish. Okay.
Okay, keep going.
Most of Spanish speakers live in South America.
Okay, now we would need the article. Most of the, or let's see, most. Yeah, that one wouldn't work. You would have to say most Spanish speakers.
Oh,
Because
most.
that's going to be an adjective. Most Spanish speakers live in South America. Okay? But you could say most of the Spanish speakers.
The Spanish speakers.
Most of the Spanish speakers I know live in South America.
Okay. Okay. Most of the Spanish speakers I now live in South America.
Uh-huh. Okay. So in one, you're using it as an adjective, saying most Spanish speakers. Okay? Spanish being the adjective. Right? But here, you're saying most of the, okay, an article, Spanish speakers I know.
Okay.
Okay? All right, very good. Okay, you guys, thank you for coming to class. Okay, we are. Let's see here. We made it through some of these. We'll probably take a look at these again sometime this week. I'll be updating my lesson schedule, right? And we'll take a look at some more of these confusing words and create our own sentences and see if we can better understand them. Okay. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank
It's great
you.
having you here.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
night.
Thank you, Chad.
All right,
Very
guys.
interesting lesson.
This is the best for lesson.
Yeah, thank
All
you
right,
very
very
much.
good.
Bye
Take care,
bye.
you guys. Bye bye.
Take care.
See you.
Bye.